Welcome back, everyone, to Echo Night 2, The Lord of Nightmares. Last time, we had a bit more backstory and insight into the relationship between Jessica and Albert. Albert was a sullen child who was also quite lonely, who didn't really care for his mother. We're not quite sure what his relationship with his father was, but his grandmother thought the world of him. It didn't really matter. The only person who got through to him was Jessica, who he later married. So we can see just how desperate he is to keep her. So last time we also got some seeds, so let's go plant those real fast because that is time-based. And then get back on the critical path. We still have one boss left and a few straggler ghosts to shepherd into their next life. You got that. And since that's time-based, we'll come back. Those two should yield full heals, not dried herbs. So now let's get back on the critical path. In the last episode, we gained a mask. Masks are fairly important in this game, though it comes up fairly late. It's hinted at here and there, but Jessica says that when she puts it on, she becomes a different person. And in Dark Souls, you literally become a different person because the Mask of Pinwheel will bump up your stats in a different way. See also Giant Dad. But it is a lovely little escape for her, given her terminal illness. Nope, we're not in the right place. We need the north staircase. And that should be out through the entrance chamber. It's funny because people think that Echo Knight is a horror game, and in some cases that's true because you're dealing with ghosts. But so far, they've been more supernatural familial dramas. Simple yet beautiful mask. Can't interact with them. Joyful expression. Angry expression. So that's what happens if you do it wrong. But this allows you to understand how this works. So if you take it, and you plop it down where it belongs, and you go run over, oh, you know what? I probably need to go touch the door. Yes.
Ah, 気のせいか。まただ。また光が消えてゆく。なぜだ。なぜうまくいかない。この石に命を捧げればよいのではなかったのか。そうすればジェシカは助かると。なぜだ。何が足りない。
アルバート様、皆様がダンスホールでお待ちです。
わかった。すぐに行く。
It is implied that he has just murdered somebody. Well, it's not like just implied. He has indeed just murdered somebody. But what somebody do we ask? Small table, large dresser, and a hand just outside of the bed. And we can surmise that's Patty. A young woman who only wanted to work for Albert Clancy, had no one else in her life, and Albert probably believed that she was someone no one would miss. But you are always going to be missed. And if we recall the story the young boy in the warehouse told us, he recounted a large pine tree at his hometown that he wishes to go back to. And that he was friends with Patty. A little bit of nostalgia held in her hand. So let's return this to the young boy who just wants a piece of home. Just wants to return home. And maybe he will give us a keepsake close to Patty as well.
Ah. それパティさんにあげた一番大事なもの、二人で交換しようって。今年もいっぱい落ちてるかな、あの松の木。
And this was Patty's favorite thing. A single earring. And with that, with a little piece of home in his hand, he's able to return home. And we can probably logic out that Patty is waiting for us in the place she died.
Earring 母さんが残してくれた。母さん、もう一度会いたい。
And that's it. We learned that the young woman had just lost her mother and she had nothing else left. But she wanted to see her mother. Just making sure I've got the safety boots on. There's a lot of glass in here. In here there's some herbs. You kind of have to platform down into. And that is the last poltergeist in the game. The red-haired woman is observing our progress as we chase after Albert. A lot of the hazards left in this game are environmental. The major one is coming right up. For now, we are done with this area, and now we have the critical path up next. This next part will take us right across the rooftops, and we have to fight the wind. Because you don't want to fall off the roof. You might think this is kind of a one-way, and it's kind of one-way right now, but there's really nothing to be super scared about. This area of the mansion hasn't been touched in quite some time. The drapes have turned into rags. We have a save box, so we'll hit that first. And then we'll try door number 1 after we turn on the light. Just in case there might be a ghost in here. Ah, the Star Chart Archives. This is going to be the main section of this area. But we'll get to that in just a second. Let's check this door first. This is the conversation room. This must be a photograph of the Clancy family. It looks extremely old. This must be a photograph of the Clancy family. It looks like this was taken recently. Now, if you can take a quick, closer look, the red-haired woman is on the right-hand side of the photo, meaning that at least at some point she was considered family. The young girl right there is Karen. Jessica and Albert are like right here. And then we have like his mother and father right over there. Over here, we have what looks to be a wedding photo. Must be a photograph of the Clancy family. It looks a little old. The red-haired woman is standing right here. And this looks to be the wedding photo of Albert's mother and father. So, in a way, it's a visual timeline of the Clancy family, but it is more evidence that the red-haired woman has been a fixture of the family for as long as anyone can remember. And over here, we have a photo of Albert and Jessica's wedding, taken fairly recently. Very important little room for lore or explanation for what's going on. Plants have all dried out. Conversation room indeed. Now let's head back to the star chart. The stars are super important. I pointed out earlier that there was the sigils for the horoscope on the ground at points. And it looks like we have a bunch of bookshelves.
おお、アルバート。これを見てごらん。お前のアルバムだ。さすがは私の息子。なかなか男前に映っておる。さて、アルバート。このアルバムを蟹座の本棚にしまっておいで。カニの絵が描いてある本棚だ。お前ももう5つ。それぐらいわかるだろう。将来、このクランシー家の主となる者らしく、きちんと役目を果たし戻っておいで。それと、書庫の奥の部屋には入ってはいかん。あそこは代々看守となった者が使ってきた部屋だ。アルバートにはまだ早い。
And I think we can read them. No, can't read the album. Actually, if you have a... I'm surprised we don't have an NG+. Because in the conversation room, there's an option for seeing concept art.
アルバムは蟹座の本棚にしまってきなさい。将来、このクランシー家の主。
Okay. You can brute force this. There is actually a way of doing this. But it's probably easier to brute force it. Oh, it's one off. Okay.
アルバート、確かお前は今日の誕生日で12歳になるのだったな。そろそろクランシー家の跡継ぎとして学ぶべきことを知る必要がある。これに目を通しておきなさい。クランシー家の主となる者には必要な本だ。読み終えたら、お牛座の棚に戻してからここに来るんだ。話がある。それと、書庫の奥の部屋には入らないように。あそこは看守となった者だけが入れる部屋だ。お前にはまだ早い。
We'll take this next book. Now, as we return these books, the memories of this man, Edgar, go forward in time. Because he is trapped in nostalgia, in a way, and in regret. Regret is a very important emotion when it comes to Echo Knight and Echo Knight likes like Darasane, because you are attempting to see what happens if you do something else, especially in Darasane. And in this one, you are assuaging the regrets of different ghosts. The origins of the Clancy family. The Clancy family descended from British nobility. They arrived in America along with a large number of other immigrants. Soon after arriving, they discovered the prehistoric ruins around the lake. Their research into these ancient artifacts continues to this day, long after the death of the man who studied them throughout his entire life. Throughout history, the Clancys have used the iconic C on their family crest as a reminder of their fiercely proud British heritage. As the years have passed, the men of the family have been temperamental and even violent at times, often leaving their research only halfway completed. Still, the Clancy family name retains its prestige, even here in America, and their renown is understood and respected by any and all who have dealt with them. Very Vanderbilt-esque. Now, there is the echo in Echo Knight is very strong in this game. Richard and Albert are essentially the same person. Let's try this shelf. And it is interesting, as one person notes, I think it was T3 in the comments, that Albert had time to kill Richard. But he didn't. Nope, not that one. I know it's a middle shelf, but I forget how middle it was. There.
アルバートよ、お前は明日の誕生日より責任あるクランシー家の主となる。主となる者には代々 果たすべき責務が一つある。これは一族が遺跡について続けてきた研究をまとめたものだ。我がクランシー家は代々遺跡の研究を行ってきた。お前も例外ではない。熟読してから棚に戻すように。よいな。そうしたら奥の部屋へ案内するとしよう。
The excavation report. The link between the ruins and the Red Moon. Not unlike many other ruins, a wide assortment of artifacts have been unearthed, which we presume to have some connection to astrology. The most prevalent among them seems to indicate moon worship. There are a number of cultures that have worshipped the moon, but they each have had a different understanding of what the moon really was. This particular culture has a special term that they often used in their documents, the crimson-stained moon. They believed it was a special time, unlike any other. The true meaning behind the term crimson-stained moon hasn't been revealed in our studies, but we did uncover the following passage engraved on one artifact. A crimson star gleams far away. The moon, it blushes red. Nature's law will go astray, and all order is dead. We cross-referenced the crimson star mentioned here with the zodiac charts and believe it indicates Scorpio's Antares. Scorpio led us to believe the red moon will appear in the summer or fall. We made this discovery only recently. We cannot jump to any conclusions prematurely. The 12 signs of the zodiac appear in particular sequence: Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces. And if you take a look, these correspond to the different shelves. This is basically the wild card, and then, you've got Virgo, Leo, Cancer.
「その本を戻してきたら奥の部屋へ案内するとしよう。」
Once again, I know this is a middle shelf. I doubt it's this one. We'll give this a check. I mean, I could go out the other door and check, but... Okay. Not that one. Alright, that's good.
どうやら長い夢を見ていたらしい。アルバート。あいつの行いはもはや許されることではない。クランシー家の主として自分の過ちの責任を取らねばならん。アルバートは書庫の奥にいるはずだ。これを持って行きたまえ。
Now, if you were wondering, From Software and their Love of the Moon does show up here. From Software also has giants show up, if only in items, here.
私は先代として最後の責任を果たさねばならん。この館の者たちがみんな行ってしまうまでここにいるつもりだ。私はこの館の
So this is the last gotcha ghost. He will not leave until all the other ghosts are gone. And the speed bump usually is the little children, but we've already got them. The other speed bump is sometimes Brian if you forget all about him. It's a cactus. Still green. Doesn't care. It's a cactus. See, back here you can see where some of them are. You'd have to move it to see the ones behind. So it's actually easier to just brute force it than to try to logic it out with the information it gives you. Anyway, put the eye into the giant. And hit the switch. The other way you can figure it out without having to move these things around is if you remember the order that the book tells you it's in. Or you can just brute force it. It's fine. So this should allow us entry into the new room. We choose peace.
花？何のつもりだ。まさかわざわざあんなものを届けに来たのか。もう遅い。何もかも、もう遅いんだ。言ったはずだ。私には彼女が、ジェシカの双子である彼女が必要だと。ここまで来て、戻るわけにはいかない。もうそろそろ時が来る。それまで、おとなしくしていてほしかったのだが。
I still wonder why he didn't just kill Richard, but I kind of think it's a whole Destiny thing. Destiny plays a huge role in Echo Knight, and the fact that things keep repeating in specific cycles, even before Dark Souls in this game, with Richard just repeating cycles. The names might be different, the locations might be different, but it's all just kind of the same. I believe the reason it doesn't cross Albert's mind to just kill Richard is because it's not Richard's destiny to die at the hands of any of the antagonists, for reasons we'll get to at the end.
仕方あるまい。ここで君の探索は終わりだ。
Albert chooses violence.
くそ、あの女め、一体いつまで待てばいいと言うんだ。ジェシカ、もう時間がない。
ずいぶんとご機嫌斜めね。せっかくの月を話題のしよ
うん、やっと現れたな。一体いつまで待てばいいんだ。ジェシカはもう長くない。
必要なものは2つよ。あなたはその1つを手に入れただけ。見なさい、月を。あの月が赤く染まる。それが儀式の合図。その時こそ双子の姉であるクリスティーナの命を石に注ぎなさい。機会は一度だけ。だけどそう先のことではないわ。
一体それはいつだ。もうこれ以上待ってなどいられるか。
安心して。ジェシカさんはあの棺の中よ。しばらくは持つわ。開けるときはこれを使いなさい。これからは毎晩夜空を見上げることね。チャンスは一度だけ。逃したら終わりよ。
So Albert is literally waiting for the eclipse. It has started, and that is why he left without slicing us down. We'll be taking this, the Eye of Awakening. Let's look in here real fast. We can turn on the light. It's not necessary, but we can. We have a portrait of a wedding. Definitely have our safety boots on. We have a little vestibule. And another painting of a landscape. And then we can head out. This is the room that was locked the whole time, and we finally see where it led. So now we have to go check in on our plants. Now that we have finally the whole house to ourselves. It's a lot of cleaning up things. First, let's tell Brian.
もういない
そうか。もうあいつらはいないのか。助かった。
Now that the monsters have gone, he can leave too, unafraid. Let's go grab that housewife first. And since there is no poltergeists left, we can explore this room to our leisure if we felt like it. There's not much there. Oh, right. We have to awaken Jessica first. Before she will leave. Beanbag chair. Was kind of surprised that such things existed. The sideboard, broken glass, and weaponry. Really not a whole lot. It's kind of there just to trap you. So let's go get our yield from the garden. And then we'll go awaken Jessica. So let's see if our plants have borne fruit yet. And they have. So now next on our list is to run back inside and go back to the Star Chamber. So we can check the map in case the star chamber is somewhere you've forgotten about. Funnily enough, we've only got 85% done of the map. I believe it was back up through the other door.
私はなぜこんなところに。そうだわ。赤い髪の女の人が私を。いけない。あの人は人を殺して私のために。もう一つの魂、湖、時計台に閉じ込めたと。もうやめて。こんなのは嫌よ。早くあの人を止めないと。
Alright, now that Jessica's awake, we can grab Albert's mom, and then we should be able to grab the old man.
ジェシカが。そう。これでアルバートも目を覚ますわ。
You do get a sort of sense as to where everything is as you're going back and forth. So while it might not be very quick, you do sort of understand where all the shortcuts are.
長きクランシー家の歴史はここに終わりを告げた。私ももう行くとしよう。みんなが待っている。
And with that, we have 30 astral pieces. So, you might be wondering, exactly what do you do with astral pieces? In the first Echo Night, throughout the Orpheus, you had these portals into the medium's chamber, right? You had the comic book. We have not yet seen hide nor hair of the medium or the comet, but there's a lot of stars here, so You might have been wondering this whole playthrough where the medium's been. Let's keep going while we percolate on that thing, that question. We can finally say goodbye to the Clancy Mansion. Like all of those who have come before us. First thing we gotta go is the chapel. It's been here the entire time, but we have yet to go there. So we're going there now. Mysterious colored water is flowing out. Here's your Kingsfield reference. Because it's cold water. During the blood red moon. This celestial globe used to track the movements of the stars. A painting's been hung here. Light flowing down. Another painting. Here we have a place of worship. And in NG Pluses, you can come grab these things. Depending on how many ghosts you release. But we just took the best one after allowing all of the astral shards to return to the moon. Like I said, you might have been wondering where the medium has been the whole time. If you are very observant in the opening FMV, the medium is there, standing right next to the red-haired woman. In this, there's a strange transparent substance in the pillar, which is being used as some sort of aquarium. It's made out of transparent material that is definitely not glass.
久しぶりだ。君のような人に出会うのはいつ以来だろう。遠い昔から私はさまざまな人に出会ってきた。その中で時折君のような人物が現れる。君たちは私から見ればとても変わっている。そう、実に面白いよ。君には時間がないはずだ。一つだけいいことを教えよう。この後、君は一つの大きな選択を迫られる。おそらく彼女はそうするはずだ。その選択が君の運命を決める。考える必要はない。ただ信じる道を選びたまえ。君と君の恋人のために。さて、君がどういう運命を選ぶのか楽しみにしているよ。また会おう。
We can actually read this comic book now. The Moon and the Sisters. Once upon a time, there were two twin sisters who loved each other very much. Unfortunately, the two of them were afflicted with an incurable illness which plagued them from the very moment they were born. Once the illness began to spread, it seemed impossible to save them, and that was precisely when a visitor appeared to one of the sisters. As she wept in pain, a man appeared at her side and whispered in her ear, "You are in such pain, aren't you? Still, there is a way to save yourself. Here, let me give you this stone. Use it to kill your sister when the moon shines red. If you do this, you will surely be spared from death." She responded in disbelief, claiming that she would never do such a thing. She would not want to live with her own sister's blood on her hands. Hearing this, the man simply smiled and walked away. Soon after that, the moon turned red, and one of the sisters died that night. She gripped the stone firmly in her hands, a dull gleam emanating from within it. She cried out one last time, saying again that she could not live with her sister's blood on her hands. And her wish was granted. She gave her own life to give her sister immortality. And the sister she left behind still searches for the answer, even now. Did her sister do the right thing? Is there anyone out there who can give her the answer that she seeks? What would you do if given such a choice? Would you use it for yourself, or would you sacrifice yourself for those who love? That is the question. Let's catch up with Albert now. To the clock tower. This is our last save point, so we're going to take very full advantage of it.
まだ私を追うのか。君の努力は認めよう。だが、それが報われることはない。君の恋人もジェシカと同じ病だ。そう長くはないぞ。見えるだろう？赤く染まったあの月が。ついに時が来たんだ。
He locks the door in front behind him because he is not George, but there is another door.
私の邪魔をするな。
Funnily enough, this is sort of a chase. We are chasing Albert up the clock tower. He's got a shotgun, and we have our wits. We made it. We're still being chased, so we gotta keep going.
Richard! 早くここを開けて。あの男はどうしたの？彼は狂ってるわ。早くしないと私たち。危ない！
彼女は渡さない。邪魔をする気なら死んでもらうしかない。
リチャード！
貴様！何の？
言ったはずよ。あなたのすべてを犠牲にできるかと。あなたにはまだ残されたものがある。あなた自身の命。
バカな。
あなたは姉さんと同じ。それで何かが救われるの？犠牲にしたふりをして結局は自分のため。変えられない運命をねじ曲げようと。
So in other endings, when you don't have all of the ghosts and don't have the gold circlet, the person who shoots him is Jessica with a very shaken hand. He's dead.
Ah, あの人、なぜあんなに悲しそうに。あの人、なぜあんなに悲しそうに。
これが必要なんでしょ？さあ、持っていきなさい。そしてあなたの大切な人を救いなさい。他に道はないのよ。さあ。やっと見つけた。出てきなさい。どうせまた見てるんでしょ。
私はかつて君に言ったはずだ。誰かが運命を受け継ぐまで君は決して死ぬことができないと。 アルバートを殺した。そしてもし彼が石を受け取っていれば彼も殺すつもりだった。なぜだね。君は死を望んでいたのではなかったのかね。
私はただ知りたかっただけ。自らの望むもののために誰もが何かを踏みしだいていくのか。でももういい。望むものを見つけた。こんなものもう何の意味もないわ。
実に興味深い。君たちは実に面白いよ。さよならだ。本当に楽しかった。運命が君たちにふさわしい生と、そして死を与えることを。
死。私も。行きなさい。あなたにふさわしい生が待っているわ。
It's been 3 years since then. Jessica Clancy refused our invitation to live with us. She decided to remain in that mansion. Despite the fact that she was near the brink of death, she made a miraculous recovery soon after that day. Perhaps Albert's wish was granted by the stone at the cost of his life, or perhaps it was because the stone itself was It's all a mystery to me. The fact of the matter is, she's alive and well. After we were reunited and things settled down, Christina and I decided to get married. As the days have passed, the horrible events that transpired back then have faded from our thoughts. We still keep in close contact with Jessica, though. We often exchange letters. And even if, by some chance, the moon is ever stained crimson again, I know that this tragedy will never repeat itself, because that red stone, which has toyed with too many lives, no longer exists. At least on Earth. And that is Echo Knight 2, Nemuri no Shihaisha, and that is the best ending in the game. There are lots of endings in this game, probably more than the first game. There's a whole separate slew of like endings as soon as you beat Albert up the clock tower. For those people who didn't capture all of the ghosts, didn't release all the ghosts, there are a whole separate, like, 3 endings for that. I mentioned that in one of them, it's Jessica who kills Albert, and mysteriously the medium and the red-haired lady just make no appearance. But it leaves it open for the redstone being a nuisance in the future. And there's an ominous ending if you take the red stone. I think all of these endings are on YouTube. So I would do it now, but save states on this particular program aren't quite working. So there is an NG+. Like I mentioned, not much changes except in the conversation room. There's slides with concept art, and you're able to get other items you can use in the next game, like the circlet. Personally, I think this is my favorite of the three, mostly because of the drama that happens. You could say it's derivative of the first game, but I think it does a lot. It deepens a lot of the things that were introduced in the first game and really expands upon them in very good ways. And I think it's like better than the first game in pretty much every way because of how much more confident From Software were at implementing those mechanics. So, that is Echo Knight 2, The Lord of Nightmares. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you in the next game. Bye, everybody.